I'm highlighting this video here because I think that Zachary Marsh makes a really good point here in response to the question, how do you respond to Labour and Lib Dem councillors who say that they're against the congestion charge? Here's what Zachary said, and I have something that I want to add to the end here.
Whereas they have come out openly and said that they're against it. I mean, what are your views on that?
So my response is that I don't want to denigrate my opponents, but what I would say is that words at the end of the day cost nothing. We know for a fact that the councillor who had a statement read out of Parker's piece wasn't there to deliver his statement in person because the whips told him he couldn't be there to speak from the float. I can promise you right now that, well, let's be honest, if we do get some councillors in May, there's probably not going to be a particularly large Conservative group, but if by some miracle anyone told me to do anything other than shout from the rooftops that we've got to stop this charge, I would resign from that party and continue to serve as an anti-congestion charge independent. We can't have people who are just saying, oh, I don't like it, I'm against it, but then doing absolutely nothing to show that they actually oppose it. For example, those councillors could already have called a vote of confidence in the Labour rep on the end, GCP, and we all know who he is, and said that if that doesn't happen, we'll call a vote of confidence in the Labour leadership of the council. They haven't done anything like that, which would have been the first thing they could have done. Just on Tuesday, the Labour councillor for this ward voted, as Steve knows, to oppose a referendum which was giving you guys a say on that issue. So I'm sorry, I don't believe a single councillor who says they're against this until we start seeing them voting and doing things, which is what actually matters in my opinion. And if they do that, fair play to them and we'll reconsider. But until they actually take action, words cost very little in my experience. Are there any other questions?
I just thought that was a really good point that hadn't occurred to me. Basically, people who say that they're against the charge can say that in person or online, but unless you actually see their voting record, voting against the charge, or putting in some kind of motion of no confidence against the leadership, that it says that they're not actually against the charge. And I just found this post here by Robert Paul Dryden, who is the Labour councillor who said that he's against the charge. As a Cherry Hinton Labour councillor, I do not support the proposed congestion charge. In fact, I have signed a petition for a referendum against these proposals. That's great and everything, but as Zachary points out, if you don't you can say that, but if you don't actually act in the background to show that you are really against it, you're working against it, then it's just words. And so I just put this post, this comment in response to Robert Dryden. Have you passed a motion within your party or some similar internal mechanism to state your lack of confidence in the party leadership with regard to this policy? There should be a lower tier rebellion growing from within the party over this. It is easy to say online you are against something, but if you are sitting in silence doing nothing about it from within, that also speaks volumes. And so far, I haven't had anything back from Robert Dryden. So just bear that in mind. I think that's an important one to bear in mind, when you're thinking about who to vote for this May. There are lots of councillors who say they're against it, but are they really against it? They can say they're against it in person or on the doorstep, but are they actually acting behind the scenes to vote against it? If no, make up your own mind about that. But I just thought that was an interesting point that I wanted to highlight there. So thank you, Zachary, for that.